Question 570. Who is the person you regret hooking up with the most, and why? Obviously, I'm not expecting a name.
Yeah, there's several people in this one. Have to be very careful how they answer this.
Amanda will say, well, can we call him MP for short?
Massive penis?
That works too.
No,
Stop!
Stop it.
It vibrates now. Jeff.
I've never really. It's only one person I've ever really been with for a long time or whatever. I'm still friends with them. I do have a lot of regrets about hooking up with her. Because I feel like I wasted 6 years.
Yeah.
Well, that's not a hookup, that's a fucking relationship.
Yeah.
I regret a relationship.
I mean, there was one girl who perhaps wanted to get married after like 2 hours that I'd met her, and I'm like, nah, yeah, I think I'm gonna just go to the toilet and we'll talk about this in a minute, and sort of sneak out the back door. Taxi.
Amanda?
Just whatever.
Massive penis?
There was this guy in high school I was friends with. We went to prom together. And a few years after high school, I'd come home. I was home from school during the summer, I think. And he invited me to a party at his brother's house. I remember waking up in his bed and thinking, what the fuck did I do? So I'd go with that.
Seraphim says, I don't regret any of them, no shame. And Doc says, myself. Sammy says, my sister-in-laws. There's several of them. Math Pig?
Never had a one-night stand in my life.
Nacho?
I don't know how to put it because none of y'all know her, and I don't even particularly remember her name.
Why'd you?
But we did have a nickname for her that was quite, in the grand scheme of things, sounds terribly derogative. But when you actually get to know her, you realize, oh no, that's very apt.
Go on.
She was literally nicknamed by us, bitch. The very long story. I'm not even gonna go into that one.
So why did you hook up with her then?
Literally, or is it a random friends party, shall we say? And one of my other friends met her in the street out front randomly that night and decided to try and hook me up with her. And I was like, I'm pretty open-minded. I'll give everything a go. But the next morning and the next week, I was just like, God damn, how do I get out of this? It was pretty bad. It was really bad, actually. I've been through some crazy. This wasn't just crazy. This was just literally insane. Like, actually certified.
Fuck.
Gotcha.
So not worth it.
Yeah, I mean, it was more about waking up the next morning and going, okay, now I have to figure out how to get out of this without dying.
Oh.
This is like crazy Russian lady kind of crazy.
What the hell?
Yeah.
And you thought you were mixed up in a cult before. Badger.
Is that why you go by Nacho now? It's not actually the witnesses, it's just that.
Witness protection.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Okay.
Keep away from her.
There was this girl I met through a roleplay group I was in,
Uh-huh.
and
Oh dear.
it was a terrible idea. She had problems. And she it kind of went from just a messing around on the sofa kind of thing to you know how distant I like to be from people.
Yep.
She went from that sort of level of just being friends through this roleplay group to I want to be the most important thing in your life immediately. I left the roleplay group for a year.
Oh, because of her?
Yes. Although I didn't admit that to them at the time. I said, I'm having some issues and I need to deal with some stuff and I'm going to go do other stuff for a bit. But then about a year later, they were like, yeah, we miss you. You should come back. I was like, yeah, I miss you guys too. I think I will. By the way, that person left last week. I was like, oh, that's convenient. But I did not know that when I agreed to go back, but she assumes that I did and only went back because she wasn't there anymore.
So have you spoken to her since?
Oh, yeah. Not often, but once or twice.
Yeah.
It was awkward as fuck.
Doc? Doc? No. Not chat. Doc wants to know, is she single now?
Well, the last I saw her, she was fucking my best friend in a lake, and we slit her tires of her car. And from what I hear, she didn't realize until she was already on the highway. No, I have no idea if she's single.
Wait there. Your current best friend or your best friend at the time?
At the time.
There's some gaps in this story I'd like filled in.
Why did you slit her tires?
There was a lot of things getting filled in. Well, that wasn't necessarily my choice. I have friends that did things without me even knowing until later.
You said we slit her tires.
Right, I have to ask.
Well,
when in the
it's
scale
been
of
years
these
ago,
things-
and we were there as she. Okay, so I got a friend who, you don't mess with some people. You know how you go to New York and there are just certain people you wouldn't mess with? She's one of those sort of people. And so
you messed with her?
I accidentally... Say again?
So you messed with her?
Not at all. Not this one. No. This was one of my actual friends who I was like calling to bail me out of this situation because we were camping and the girl, the bitch, got with my best friend at the time while we were camping, and I had no way home except for this girl because it was her car that we all came in, and I was like, this is really inconvenient because now clearly you're not with me all of a sudden. And so I called up my friend because I thought, she's still one of my best friends too. But I was like, hey, can you come give me a lift home? I want out of this situation, sort of thing. She's like, yeah, for sure. She came, but unfortunately, I told her the story of what was going on, and she decided to take matters into her own hands. And she had people, come and slit the bitch's tires. And she was so wasted, and this was like midday, but she was the bitch was so wasted that she did not realize that her tires were all slit until she was down the highway. Yeah. So I can't imagine the ride home for those few that were still there, because I just was like, I'm out. I'm done. Took all my gear and I was out of there.
These don't strike me as good Christian friends.
Well, look, that one friend that helped to get me out of there, she is the best. Like, you cannot get a better friend than that. Trust me. She's the sort of person that no matter what trouble you get into, you can get out of it. Yeah. It's always good having a friend like that.
So this is the friend you would go to if you accidentally murdered someone?
No, this would be the friend that would help me accidentally murder someone.
I was gonna say, yeah, just say the
I just want
description.
to accidentally. You know what?
And no, I'm not going to even say her name. Not at all.
You know what they say? You know, just a friend will help you move, but the best friend will help you move the body.
Exactly. It's always good to have one friend like that in your corner. I have a few actually, but that's one on that one side of the town.
If you enjoyed that, please hit the thumbs up button. If you didn't, hit the thumbs down. If you think you've got a better answer or just want to tell us how wrong we are, leave a comment down below. Subscribe down here for new questions every day and make sure you hit the bell so you don't miss out on our live shows. If you click over here, you'll see our latest upload. Over here, for what YouTube thinks you'll love the most. And finally, for a complete playlist of all our currently released questions, click here.